Hi, my answer is in response to Mr. Fragas' question. If the point is to change public opinion from mistrust of the other state to one where the cooperation is possible, can this method be applied to closed countries where the public has very little information on how their government operates, let alone their enemies? For instance, North Korea. No, this method, in my opinion, this method can't be applied to that. In constructing international politics, Went says, if past interactions have created a structure in which status quo states are divided or naive, revisionists will prosper and the system will tend towards a Hobbesian world in which power and self-interest rule. In contrast, if past interactions have created a structure in which status quo states trust and identify with each other, predators are more likely to face collective security responses like the Gulf War. And you can apply that relationship to ours with North Korea. It's one of paramount of mistrust, and because even if they went every time that we have come to the bargaining table, there's still that sense of mistrust, and a lot of it has to do with their people and the human rights violations that occur in the country. So even when they kind of follow through on some of the conditions, there's never that sense of mutual trust between us. That country will always be suspect of us, and we of them. And then in Ed Zioni's The Kennedy Experiment, he says, my only regret is that there have been very few attempts to apply this theorem to subsequent international conflicts as a tension-reducing tactic, and there have, in other words, been too few subsequent natural experiments of my theory. I don't think that's accurate. I think there's been plenty of natural experiments with people trying to make concessions here or there, and sides don't come to an agreement. So I don't think that that's true. I think that that theory of I'll come to the table and make concessions unilaterally, and you don't necessarily have to do anything initially, but eventually you'll reciprocate my actions. I think that has happened where people do stuff where whether it be us or whether it be China or whatever, and we don't reciprocate or they don't reciprocate, and then it just kind of that mistrust continues on. So I think for countries that are a little bit more open, yes, to answer your question, I think that method, you can use that method to bridge some of the gaps that we have between our nations. But for a closed country like North Korea, I don't think that that's possible, just because of how much they limit information to their own people. And I think to a certain extent it's that way with China as well. So, a little long.